Hi everyone, this is Jim. This is just a quick status update. I wanted to let you all know that I wasn't going to be uploading any videos for a few days. I think the next time I'll have a chance to upload some videos will be Wednesday. I'm just going to be away for a few days, but I'll be back and back to my normal uploading daily starting Wednesday. So just to have a little chess content with this video and not just such a brief announcement, I pulled out another puzzle from one of Paul Morphy's games. So this was a game played in 1856 in New Orleans against an anonymous player, and Paul was playing at rook odds. So this rook in the corner was missing to start with, and then he sacrificed this other rook in the other corner. So he's down two rooks if you count the material. Paul is down to a queen and two minor pieces. His opponent has a queen, two rooks, and two minor pieces. But where are those pieces? This knight got distracted all the way to the corner of the board while grabbing that rook, and these two pieces over here on the queen side are not yet participating in the game, whereas all of Paul's pieces are clustered around his opponent's king or about to jump in. So in this position, there is only one winning move for white. In fact, other moves are good for black because black will eventually realize the material advantage unless white strikes immediately right here. So the way to get the best out of this position, it's really a very rich position, and it would be interesting to just set it up on a board or on another screen. If you're playing this, if you only have a computer, you don't have a physical board, and just not only see if you can find the one move for white that's winning, but the continuation, because there's all kinds of mating patterns and stuff like that. So a very instructive example for the attacking player. And then, so if you want to go do that, pause the video right here. Okay, so I've given you time to study that, and take your time on that. Spend a few days, since I won't be uploading any new videos. It'll give you an entertainment, and then when you got it all solved, you can come back and check your solution with mine. But I'm going to give the answers away now. The one and only move here that white can play that wins is grabbing the pawn here. F takes G7 check, and that should have been one of the moves on your list to check, because it's a forcing move. Any check that you make and any captures are forcing moves, but checks are the most forcing of all moves. And notice the king has only one possible reply. He's blocked here. The knight is guarding that square. So the only legal move is for him to take the knight. And then the follow-up is to bring the other knight in. So now Paul is really working. He's got all three of his pieces going, a very characteristic feature of Morphy's games, that get all the pieces in on the action. So with this knight check, let's show a couple of short examples. If the king tries to run away to F6, that's running into a little corner here where it gets mated by the queen. So that's not working. And if the queen tries to take the knight, then this doesn't work either. It's a little bit longer, and here's some nice mating patterns in this section here. So knight takes check. Once again, if the king runs up, let's put it on the board. If the king runs up, then this queen check here is still a mate. The king can't escape to that square because the knight guards it. So a nice little mating pattern there. So let's back up. If is there any way to block? All he can do is run back to the corner. And if he runs directly back, then the queen check here will drive him into the corner. Only one legal move, and then queen here is mate. So in this position, the most stubborn defense is for the king to go into the corner this way. And now the queen just goes here to G5 anyway, threatening mate. And the only piece that can guard that square, notice that all of his other pieces are just useless. He's down to only a rook defending around his king. And the rook is just not sufficient because of this queen check on the diagonal. Another very typical mating pattern with the king in the corner, defended by the rook. The rook is just a little bit too awkward a piece, and he gets mated. So his opponent was putting up a stiff fight at this point. He defended as best he could. And so he didn't take the knight immediately. He ran with this king to h8. And now Paul checks, or doesn't check, he moves his queen to g5 anyway, setting up these kind of mating threats that we saw in the previous line. And notice that in this case there's not even a hope of defending with rook takes g8 because the knight and the queen are both on that square. So that would just be met by, rook g8 would be met by queen takes g8 and mate. So the only move that defends that square and stops the mate, the king has no moves, the rook can't defend it, is the queen. And so the queen finally has to be sacrificed at this point. But you'll notice that even with this queen sacrifice, black is still going to be ahead in material because he'll get a knight for the queen. So if he could somehow survive the attack with this defense of queen to g6, then black could go on to win the game. Now Morphy takes that off. And if the H file opens up, the queen can come over here with check and mate. So he takes with the F pawn. And this also has the defensive idea of putting the rook on the knight. And now here's another little puzzle for you if you want to. If you got this far in the video and you don't have this position worked out from your previous studies, there is once again one and only one move that wins here. So see if you can find the winning move at this point in the game, and pause the video here. Okay, I am going to give the answer away. Of course, it was winning all along, but you have to find all of these correct moves to actually finish the win. And the winning move is queen to e7. Bringing the queen in, attacking the rook, and threatening queen takes rook mate, because the king has no escape from the queen on f8. So, and there's also the threat of queen to f7 mate. So there's no way to stop all of these threats except to take the knight. And now Paul takes back with the pawn, and once again the threat is queen to f8 mate. And notice that because these pawns never moved, well, these two, the two light squared pawns, you can't even move this bishop out of the way to clear the back rank so the rook can defend against queen to f8. There is really no defense except for king to g8. Only a king move will defend that square. And then the crushing final move, f6. And his opponent resigned because the next move is going to be queen to g7 mate, regardless of what black does. So a nice little example and a veritable, there's a whole encyclopedia of small encyclopedia of mating patterns there, starting with f takes g7. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be back soon. See you then. Bye.